Lifelines came out in March 2008, and it takes you behind the scenes at an urban trauma center on the most dangerous day of the year. Now, most people don't realize it, but here in the United States, the most dangerous day of the year is July 1st. And that's because that's the day the new interns, who aren't any smarter than they were on June 30th when they finished medical school, they start working in the hospitals. So you don't want to be anywhere near a hospital on July 1st. Unfortunately, that's also the first day that my main character, Lydia Fiore, starts work at her new hospital in a new city that she's never lived in before, of Pittsburgh. And what she finds is that she has a little bit of a hard time getting started, because even though she makes a tremendous save with her first patient, she ends up losing the wrong patient. It's the chief of surgery's son. So she has to investigate why this happened, because she has no idea why this young man died. And because she's a stranger come to town, which is basically the kind of story it is, kind of like the old Western, stranger come to town story, no one really trusts her or believes in her. So she has to prove herself to them as she's trying to save her job, her reputation, and then eventually her patients' lives, her own lives, the lives of everyone she comes in contact, and by the end of the book, a good part of the city. So it's one of those plots that just blossoms. The second book is Warning Signs, and it follows Amanda's story. Amanda's a medical student. She's only about 25, and she's from South Carolina. So she's also kind of a fish out of water there in Pittsburgh. She misses her ocean, she misses her family, and she's kind of all alone except for the friends that she's made, including Lydia, who is the heroine of the first book, the ER charge nurse, Nora, and then an emergency medicine resident, Gina, who happens to be Amanda's roommate. They share a house together to save money. Well, Amanda has been having these strange symptoms, and this is actually based on what happened to me in medical school, and it's happened to just about every classmate I had in medical school. There's something called medical studentitis. It's a form of hypochondritis where you start learning about all these rare and bizarre diseases, and all of a sudden you start having the same symptoms. And of course, usually the symptoms are just fatigue and overwork and stress, and a little imagination thrown in there. But Amanda's having these strange symptoms, and so she starts to research them, and she can't put them together. So she thinks she's just going a little crazy, just a little stressed, a little medical studentitis, till patients start dying from the same symptoms. And then her symptoms start getting worse. So suddenly there's a ticking clock that she realizes she only has, a matter of hours to days to figure out what's really going on in order to save both herself and the patients.